What's going on, everybody? Breaking news. First of all, happy Monday. I know I've been gone. I recently just had a child. His name is Cameron. Man, he's 2 weeks old now. So that's what's going on with me. That's why I've been gone for these last 2 weeks, man. But I'm back. I'm back. And breaking news. It finally happened. Aaron Rodgers is a New York Jet. Aaron Rodgers is a New York Jet. The Jets get Aaron Rodgers, obviously, a swap pick with the Packers and a fifth round pick, and the Packers get the Jets first round pick, a second round pick, another pick, and a complimentary pick for next year, a second round, but that can turn into a first round if Aaron Rodgers plays 65% of the games this year. This is big. This is really big because the Buffalo Bills are now the third best team in that conference. In that division. It's just so crazy. It's just so crazy. My mind is. I had a whole set plan for this video, and this just broke the news, literally. But yeah, the Buffalo Bills are now the third best team in that division. Because I think Miami is the best team right now. Then the Jets getting Aaron Rodgers, and the Buffalo Bills, obviously, and the Patriots. I don't think the Jets are a Super Bowl contending team. They definitely make the playoffs. I don't think they compete for any Super Bowls. There's a lot of still rough teams out there. But that getting Aaron Rodgers leapfrogs them over the Bills, in my opinion. The Bills lost more than what the Jets gained. So it's craziness, man. You pair Aaron Rodgers with Garrett Wilson and Alan Lazard, McCall Hardman, Brees Hall when he comes back healthy. That defense is really good. We got a really nice young tight end, some young offensive linemen. Jets might go offensive line in the draft. Maybe if DeJuan Jones there, Darnell Wright there, Broderick Jones is there, so one of those guys. I think Paris Johnson and Peter Skronsky is going to be gone. But man, Aaron Rodgers is a New York Jet. Like I said, I believe this is a playoff team, definitely. I don't think they're better than the Bengals or the Chiefs. I don't think they're better than the Dolphins, and I'm not sure if they're better than the Ravens right now. And the Jags are up and coming as well. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. Great pickup for the Jets. It finally happened, and I'm happy that it happened. Now we can stop worrying about if it's going to happen because it's happened. So phenomenal pickup for the Jets, and you didn't really give up much. You really gave up a second round pick and a second round pick next year that can turn into a first, but it's just here and there, see what happens. But the New York Jets just traded for Aaron Rodgers. NBA news: we have the Lakers and the Mavericks tonight. Picking the Lakers to go up 3-1. The Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies tonight. I'm sorry. I'm picking the Lakers to go up 3-1 in that game, in that series. And then we have the Heat and the Bucks. I think Giannis coming back. I think Giannis will prevail them to tie it up 2-2. Ime Udoka, new head coach of the Houston Rockets. What he did with that Celtics team. It kind of wonders, was he really coaching with that? Because you see the coach that came in this year had pretty much the same success as Ime did last year. So is it really Ime that did the coaching, or was it just the Celtics are that good of a team? We'll find out in Houston. Houston has been the bottom of the barrel team in the last decade, so we'll see. But what I wanted to get to today, draft week is this week. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. We're only 4 days away to the draft. I do have an announcement. I will be making my MLB team decision this week. I'm not sure who I'm going to go with between a couple of teams. I got the Yankees on my radar. I got the Angels, the Braves, the Pirates. Those are my top 4 teams who I'm picking from. If you think I should be a part of your MLB team, drop it in the comments below. Or if you like one of those 4 teams that I named, the Yankees, Angels, Braves, Pirates, drop it in the comments below. See who I should go to. But let's get into what I wanted to get into today. With the draft coming up, I will do my last mock just to see who I think, with all the buzz going around um, the NFL right now. I will do one last mock to see my final decision to see where I think people will go based on team needs and draft buzz. But before I do that, let's go over my top 5 players in each position category in the draft. Obviously, we got to start with the quarterbacks, and let me find my paper. All right, so my top 5 quarterbacks. Number one is C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud is getting a lot of just his draft stock is plummeting for no reason, and I think this happens with Ohio State players in general. I don't know what it is the league got against Ohio State players, but it just seems like when top Ohio State players looking to be a top pick, man, they just get drugged, and C.J. Stroud is getting drugged for no reason. They're saying that he might not go in the top 7, which is ridiculous. C.J. Stroud is the best quarterback. He's my number 1 quarterback on the board. And I just don't get why I just don't get it. They're trying to tear this man down, but C.J. Stroud, he's a believer guy, man. He's not gonna let that get to him. I feel like if he do go outside the top 10, you can see somebody like the Packers picking him up, the Titans maybe picking him up, Buccaneers maybe, one of those teams getting him. You can see the Jets probably getting him. Let him sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a year or two, then come in and take over for the Jets, man. That'd be crazy. But C.J. Stroud, man, you're my number one. You're my number one, man. You're my number 1 quarterback in this year's draft. Number 2, Bryce Young, man. He's Black Drew Brees. Bryce Young, man, this guy, he can extend the play like nobody else, man. I've seen a lot of comparisons between him and Patrick Mahomes with extending the plays and making the defense look silly. I think that's very accurate. So I'm go Bryce Young, number 2. Number 3, Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett is a 2-time national champion. Put some respect on his name. Stop playing with this man. Number 4, Hayden Hooker, man. Hayden Hooker was on his way to win the Heisman, probably on his way to win the national championship if he wouldn't have got hurt. Hayden Hooker is a very bright, intelligent young man. I can't wait for him to get into the league and show everybody that he is who he is. He's one of those top guys. And number 5 is Jake Haener, man, out of Fresno State. This guy grew on me probably toward the end of the season. Going into the combine, he really showed out into his pro day. And just going back looking at tape of him, man, he got some zip, man. You talking about zip on the ball? He got some zip. I like Jake Haener, man. I think talent-wise, he's a late day 2, like late second round pick type guy, man. To me, he is. I got them over. Obviously I left out Will Levis and Anthony Richardson. I think Anthony Richardson, man, is just too raw. He really got hype off his athleticism, and athleticism don't win you ball games. I mean, it can, but at the quarterback position, you're gonna need more than that. And Will Levis, I'm just not sold on Will Levis, man. I was never sold on Will Levis, never. I just don't see it in him. I don't think he can go into a NFL system and win ball games. I just don't see it. But those are my top 5 quarterbacks. Let's go to running backs. Number 1, obviously Bijan, man. Bijan Robinson, man. He's that guy, man. He's that home run hitter guy, man. He's gonna get probably 1,000 yards as a rookie. I'm calling it. Whoever team goes to, he's looking at the Chargers. I've seen a lot of people have him going to the Eagles. I think personally he's going to the Cowboys. I think Cowboys, that would be a great pickup for the Cowboys, especially in this late round pick. I think that would be a great pickup for the Cowboys. Number 2, Jamar Gibbs. I think Jamar Gibbs is probably the best all-around back when it comes to running, catching, blocking. I think he's probably the best all-around back. I like Jamar Gibbs coming out of Alabama. Number 3, this guy right here is the most disrespected player in the draft. Not in this position, in the draft. Muhammad Ibrahim, man, out of Minnesota, man. Go watch this guy. Top 5 in rushing this year. Go look at the tape when he's healthy, man. Go look at the tape. It's incredible. Muhammad Abraham is my number 3 running back. Number 4, Tajay Spears, man. This guy is special. He's like a scat back type of back, man. This guy is special. He's small, but he's electric. Um, and number 5, man, Dwayne McBride out of UAB. This guy, he needs to get some respect put on his name, man. He's really, really good. His vision is incredible, man. A tad slower than the other guys, but in the NFL, man, you can make that up with just hard running. Those are my top 5 running backs: Bijan, Jamar Gibbs, Muhammad Abraham, Tajay Spears, and Dwayne McBride. Going on to wide receivers, this is going to get controversial. Okay, my number 1 receiver is Jackson Smith-Njigba. There's no explanation. There's no explanation needed for that. I mean, just look at the Rose Bowl game. Number 2 is Jalen Hyatt, the second most disrespected player in this draft. Top 5 in receiving yards this year. Look at the Alabama game if you need any at all detail of what he did this season. Number 3, this is where it gets crazy. Number 3 to me is Nathaniel Dale out of, I believe he's out of Houston. He led the country in receiving yards and touchdowns. Over 1,300 receiving yards, I believe, and 17 touchdowns. And he's not even considered to be a first-round pick. Nathaniel Dale, man, you talking about explosive? He reminds me a little bit of Stephon Diggs, man. He is really explosive. Number 4, Xavier Hutchinson, another guy that has production. Out of Iowa State, man. Production is sonified, man. And then number 5 is Zay Flowers out of Boston College. I don't have Quentin Johnson, man. I don't have Jordan Addison. I don't have Keyshawn Boutte, one of the top 3 guys. I just don't see it in those guys, man. The production is not there for me, especially for Quentin Johnston to be that big. He only had a little bit over 1,000 yards with 6 touchdowns on the year, and then he didn't really do nothing in the national championship game. After what Eli Ricks went through with Marvin Harrison Jr., and that was Quentin Johnston's time to show up and what he could do. I think he had 1 catch for 6 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me. But the production's not there for Quentin Johnston. I don't see the really appeal for him. I mean, he's big. So honorable mention guys like A.T. Perry out of Wake Forest and Charlie Jones out of Purdue, man. Those are 2 other guys I believe that are ahead of the Quentin Johnsons and the Keyshons and the Jordan Addisons to me. But those are my top 5 receivers: Jackson Smith-Njigba, Jalen Hyatt, Nathaniel Dale, who I think is going to be a steal for somebody, Xavier Hutchinson, and Zay Flowers. Going on to my top tight ends. I love this tight end class. Oh my goodness, this tight end class has at least 7 or 8 quality starters. Starting with Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame, man, best all-around tight end in this draft. He can do it all. He can run. He can run block, he can pass block, he can catch. He can get you yards after contact. Man, this guy is a freak. But he's close. It's close because I was going back and forth with 1 and 2. Dalton Kincaid, man, he's being compared to Travis Kelce. That's big. But Dalton Kincaid is like that out of Utah. I've seen it firsthand when he played Ohio State. The guy is really like that. Number 3, Darnell Washington, another one of those guys out of Georgia, 6'7". Can go up and get it. Really, he's probably the best run blocker in this year's draft. He's like an offensive lineman out there blocking. Number 4, Luce Monsgrave, who some consider to be a top tight end in this draft. And then number 5, Sam Laporta out of Iowa. And then you have Tucker Croft. You got Cameron Latu out of Alabama. You got the guy out of Old Dominion. This tight end class is probably one of the best tight end class in recent memory. Going on to the tackles, you got Peter Skronsky out of Northwestern, Paris Johnson Jr. out of Ohio State. Darnell Wright is shooting up draft boards, man. I really like this guy. Going back and looking at him out of Tennessee, DeJuan Jones, Chiefs. If you're listening, get this guy at 31. Oh my goodness, him and Taylor and the guy from Jacksonville blocking for Patrick Mahomes. Nobody's getting to him. And then Derek Jones out of Georgia. Those are my top 5 tackles. And then we have my top 5 interior offensive linemen. I think Osiris Torrance is Osiris Torrance is my top guy, my top interior lineman guard out of Florida. And then we got Steve Evila, and then Joe Tippmann out of Wisconsin. He's shooting up draft boards as well. Luke Whippier out of the Ohio State University, and then a guy that that has not getting a lot of buzz. Every time I watch UFC, I've never seen a bad play out of this guy. Andrew Voorhees out of UFC, man. He's my number 5 interior offensive lineman, man. I really like this guy. Big and mean. Um, that's my top 5 interior offensive lineman. That's the offense. Going over to the defense, my top 5 D tackles, obviously, number 1 is Jalen Carter, man. We see what he can do, how powerful he is, how he clogs up the middle of the field. Brian Breezy, really good run blocker. Another guy that can sit there and clog up the middle of the trenches. Zach Pickens out of South Carolina, I think is an underrated guy. Monty Smith out of that team up north is really good, and Kalijah Kinsey out of Pittsburgh. I've seen him getting some first round grades. Those are my top 5 DTs. Going to my edge rushers. Will Anderson obviously is the best player overall in the draft to me. He's my number 1 overall player. Number 2, I got Nolan Smith, man. I was hoping Nolan Smith would sit out the combine. That way he can kind of fall to like the 30th pick area, and the Chiefs grab him and steal him. But I think Nolan Smith is a top 10 talent. He would have been a top 5 pick last year if he would have came out. He showed out in the combine, and I think that really prevailed him as a top 10 pick this year. Number 3, who I think is another top 10 pick this year, Lucas Van Ness out of Iowa, man. This mold on this guy is just insane. He reminds me of a Nick and Joey Bosa coming out of college. Number 4, a guy that I really like that's really underrated, Isaiah Foskey out of Notre Dame. This guy just pops out at me when I watch his film, and then I watch Notre Dame this year. This guy really does everything on the field. And then number 5 is Andre Carter III out of Army. Another one of those. This edge rushing class is phenomenal, man. I can go on and on with the edge rushers this year. But those are my top 5 edge rushers. My top 5 linebackers. The linebackers are not being talked about enough this year. We have some really great linebackers in this class this year. Starting off with Jack Campbell out of Iowa. Drew Sanders out of Arkansas. That guy flies around the field. Noah Sewell, if you want somebody that's a hitter, the Sewell brothers are hitters, man. D. Winters, I've seen most of TCU's games this year. This guy always plays phenomenal when I see him on the field. And Trenton Simpson out of Clemson, man. This linebacker class is not being appreciated like it should be. But those are my top 5 linebackers. My top 5 cornerbacks. Here we go. Devon Witherspoon is the best cornerback overall in this draft. Joey Porter Jr. is my number 1 cornerback in this draft because I think he's more of a shutdown. He's more of a shutdown corner to me. He's gonna get in your face. He's gonna jam you. He's gonna be on an island by himself, and he's not gonna give up big plays. So he's my number 1 corner. Devon Witherspoon, man, is my number 2. I think he is the best corner in this draft. I think Joey Porter just has better man coverage than Devon right now. Cam Smith out of South Carolina is my number 3. Christian Gonzalez is my number 4. Christian Gonzalez he's growing on me, man. He's really growing on me. I think all of these guys are top 31 picks. These are first round picks right here. And then a really underrated guy, my 3rd most disrespected guy in this draft is Clark Phillips, man. Clark Phillips was a first round talent. He would have came out in the top 20 as a top 20 pick last year if he would have came out. I think he was the best corner in the draft. He would have been the best corner in the draft to me last year. Out of Utah, man. So I like Clark Phillips, man. He's my number 5 corner. And then last but not least, the safeties, man. Brian Branch is that guy out of Alabama. Brian Branch is that dude. He can be remember how Jamal Adams was when he came out, man. Brian Branch could be better than that. Number 2, my 4th most disrespected player in this draft, Christopher Smith out of Georgia. You talking about a ball player? Christopher Smith is a ball player, man. Put some respect on his name. Number 3, Jair Brown out of Penn State. A dog. That's it. Dog. Number 4, Ronnie Hickman, he's going to be a steal. Ronnie Hickman is going to be a steal for somebody out of Ohio State. He's looking to be like a day 3 type guy, round 4, early round 4. He's going to be a steal for somebody. And then Sidney Brown out of Iowa, man. Iowa had some ball players this year, man. Chase Brown, I didn't even mention, and he had a really productive year. But those are my top 5 players in each position, man. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like I said, Aaron Rodgers is a New York Jet. But thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for coming and watching me, man. Always keep God number 1. Man, y'all have a good one.